Hi, I'm Ernest Pujals. Welcome again to our Real Estate Minute, just to give you a little bit of insight on certain aspects of real estate. Today we're going to talk a little bit about foreclosures. It's been a real craze lately for people going out buying foreclosures, either for their own property or for a rental property, or just to buy them and what they call flip them, which is basically where you purchase a property at a low price, fix it up, and then sell it at a market value. The neat thing about foreclosures is there are quite a few of them out there. They are getting less and less every day. It wasn't like 2 years ago where they were just an abundance, but there is still some of them out there, and we can help you with that if you just so desire. The neat thing about foreclosures is that if you're willing to do some work, you can possibly make a decent amount of money. The idea of foreclosures is when a property has been taken from a previous owner because they hadn't been able to make the payments, and now it's being sold on the market. There's also a thing called a short sale. A short sale is a little different. A short sale, the owner still owns the home, but what they've negotiated with the bank is that the bank will take the loss so they can sell it at a lower price because of its condition or because of a financial hardship. And then that home can also be purchased and be sold at a little bit higher price too. But let's just focus on foreclosures, even though short sales in some instances work the same. But as far as foreclosures, there's basically three types of foreclosures. There's a standard bank foreclosure that's been put back on the market through a regular real estate company. That means like a Bank of America or a Chase or a Wells Fargo or some other type of mortgage entity has foreclosed on the previous owner, and then they've put it back on the market. Some have been updated and fixed up. Some are pretty much in the exact same condition as they were foreclosed on, and those are the ones that you could really get the better deals from. And those, basically, we can generate you a list. Pretty much a lot of the realtors that know about foreclosures. Be careful about using a realtor that hasn't had a lot of experience in foreclosures, because you can get in a bit of a sticky wicket if you don't know where you're going. So that's one type. One type is a standard bank foreclosure. The second type is what they call a HUD or a VA foreclosure. This is where the entity of Housing and Urban Development has foreclosed on the property, and now they're selling it. Again, the neat thing about these homes is they are more than likely homes you can purchase and make a little money on them. Now, HUDs are a little different in the sense that if it's a habitable home or what they call an insurable home, then those homes have to go 30 days out to the general public for owner occupancy, meaning that someone that is actually going to buy them to live in it first. Then after that period of time, then investors can purchase them. Now, there is some HUD homes that aren't insurable, and those the investors can invest in right off the bat. Okay, there's a couple of tricks to HUD homes, so we can't get into all those details, but those are definitely good deals out there, especially if you're going to do an owner-occupant. The third type of foreclosure is what everybody normally thinks about a foreclosure. Now, let me start off by saying these are ones you really, really need to be careful with, and you really need to know what you're doing, and this is what they call a courthouse step foreclosure. These foreclosures are bought straight cash, where basically you go into an auction type setup at the courthouse steps the first Tuesday of every month, and you get there, and the houses come out on a list. The easiest list that we know is what they call a George Roddy list. But be aware that everything that shows up on that list is not going to come out, and the numbers that show up on that list are not necessarily correct. So you have to do a lot of due diligence, and you are totally responsible for any mistakes that happen. This, along with federal tax liens and half a dozen other things, that's why we try not to get people involved in those kind of things unless they really, really have the time and effort to get all the work done and really know what's going on. But those are the largest financial benefits, because you're basically buying that at the courthouse steps as they're being foreclosed on. So based on those three things, the model we like to use more for a consumer or someone that's trying to flip homes is basically either a bank foreclosure or a HUD VA foreclosure. The neat thing about those is you can inspect them, you can get a loan on them, you can get what they call hard money. Hard money is where you have banks, and we have several of them that would work with you, where they'll give you the money to buy the home, fix it up, and turn around and sell it. And the neat thing about those hard money lenders is some of them will also give you the money to fix the home. So in other words, you're purchasing the home, fix the home, and turning around and getting all the work done on the home in one loan. And a lot of times it's very minimal to get into those, maybe a 2% or something like that. It all depends on your credit and the condition of the property. So That's one way to do it. You can do it with regular money from the bank, and if you've got cash, you can do it that way. The neat thing is if you've got a realtor that knows what he's doing, he can not only help you find the home, but he can also give you a general idea of what that home might sell for in the future. Obviously, things can change in a moment, but generally what you'll see is a lot of people buying, let's say, a $50,000 home that may need $20,000 worth of repair, but it's in a neighborhood where most of the homes go between 90 and 100. So the neat thing is you buy the $50,000 home, you put the 20 in repair, and all of a sudden you've got a $30,000 benefit there that you can use and when you sell the property. Of course, you're going to have some costs that are associated with reselling a property, but the neat thing is you've more or less made money from an investment. And you can either do that or you can do the same thing with those foreclosures and keep them and have a $70,000 home that you put an investment into, but then being able to rent it like a $100,000 home. So you've got positive cash flow right off the bat. So that gives you a little bit of idea of the foreclosure. There's a whole lot more that you can go to our website at www.earnestrealty.com, or you can feel free